Are you a little bit overwhelmed right now and it's impacting your confidence and how you feel about yourself? And you're like, oh, can I handle all of this? This is really stressful. I don't know if I'm worthy to handle all of this. Well, I've totally been there. And today I'm going to go through how you can make your life more simple, make things more simpler. So therefore you can grow your confidence and feel that you've got that control within inside yourself. And if you stay until the end, I have something for you then as well. Now, I've been guilty of being overwhelmed so many times in my life, particularly when I started a new job, or I've been introduced to a new project or something like that. I've got a bit of a background in project management. When I'm like shown like some new information, my brain like really finds it hard to take in. I've also had that in a business capacity when you've got like introduced new technologies. I'm not too bad with technology, but sometimes when you've got a whole new system, it can be a little bit overwhelming. And then it makes these kind of things make me overthink, overwhelmed. And then my brain just gets exhausted. And I just really have been guilty of overthinking things in the past in particular. And also in social settings, I used to be really nervous about socializing with people and those kind of things. I'd really overthink it. Should I talk to this person? Or what if they don't like me? All these kind of things, these negative self-talk. Maybe you can relate as well. Um, and it was really frustrating, just being overwhelmed. And then you get all these emotions like anger, frustration, and it made me really tired and then knock my confidence and belief in myself. Now, the brain is quite an analytical thing and it can go a little bit out of control if we don't master it and direct it in the way it wants. Now, the brain is also looking for problems. That's what it does. There's a strong survival mechanism. It's looking for dangers. And when we don't have real dangers, it makes them up. And if we've got a particularly analytical mind, some use that a little bit more than others, it can get quite stressful unless we pave the way. So that's what I wanted to cover today. And maybe you're a little bit stressed, maybe you're a little bit frustrated, maybe you're overthinking things are a little bit overwhelming and it's really impacting you. Well, I don't want you to stay stuck. So that's why I wanted to give you some simple tips today, because these have worked for me personally when I've been in those positions. So the first thing is these are going to sound so simple to make things simple, right? Is take breaks. If you don't give your brain room for air, it's going to get exhausted. You're going to get tired and it's just going to be overwhelming. So there's many studies that demonstrated the benefits of having breaks, right? So for me, I like to have a break every now and then through my day, just like sometimes looking out the window, just doing nothing, maybe listening to some music, typically binaural beats off YouTube, maybe doing a little bit of breath work, just to calm my brain down so it doesn't get too overwhelmed. So that's the first one, because when you allow it to have breaks, it starts working for you. I found personally that it starts actually coming up with some of the answers rather than you being like, what's the answer? What's the answer? And then really trying to push it. It then starts to come up for its own solutions. I remember working in a job and I was just so annoyed, so angry. And that wasn't the only case. There's many of those. And I was just like, don't get this. What am I meant to do? And I just went for a walk. And then actually I came back with all the answers. I just went for a walk. I was frustrated at the start of my walk, but then I calmed down and I came back and I was like, I felt more confident. I felt more grounded. I had the steps forward. The second thing is smiling and changing your physiology. When we smile, it produces feel-good chemicals in the body, even if you're faking it, right? And when you change your physiology, that will also change how you're feeling in the body. And when you change how the body's feeling, and the body's does quite a lot of thinking for you. There's a lot stored in the body, more than people realize. If you go into somatic work, you'll be able to see a little bit more of this. But if you change your body, it will therefore change your state and therefore change your thinking. So therefore, you'll be able to come up with more practical solutions and not get so overwhelmed as well. And one suggestion is the power pose. This is like a Wonder Woman pose with your hand on your hip, standing up straight. Smiling is a good one. Or maybe it's really, really tough and you just need to go and do some exercise. Another great one is just breath work, because that will change how you're breathing. When you change how you're breathing, that changes how you feel as well. And then the third one, role model simplicity. Find someone who's just really good at getting things done and just how simply they do it. Don't pick, I would suggest not picking someone who like burns themselves to the ground and achieves things. You want to find someone who's very cool, very casual, and gets things done. And then have a look at the systems and things they're using in place. And actually think, how can I take a little bit of that as well? So those are my 3 tips on how to make things a little bit more simple. Now, I do have an extra one, which I think is really useful personally, and I use it every single week. Just before we go on to that, though, if you want a particular topic, me to focus on something on the podcast, anything around self-esteem, confidence, mindset, all you've got to do is go in the Q&A and then write in what you would like me to focus on in a future episode. It helps me to create more content that you want as well. So the bonus point I really want to make is have an organization day, right? So what this means is we can get really, really busy like day to day, particularly people typically get very busy weekdays. I know I do. So what I like to do on a Saturday morning is put down an organization. How did the week go? What am I looking to achieve in the next week? What's my overall vision? Am I moving towards that? So having an organization day like once a week to kind of do some planning, whether you're in business, whether you're in your career. I also like plan out all areas of my life, like my social situations and everything like that, my health. So having an organization day every single week will allow you to actually organize things and calm things down a little bit. And if you really struggle with this, there's lots of software out there that's actually helps you schedule with AI introduction as well. So that's what I suggest in terms of organizing your week as well. So you're a little less overwhelmed, and therefore you have, and with organization, I always think it's key to remember to not be so strict that you have to do this by X o'clock and this. It's about scheduling things in, yet being aware that life will come along and there'll need to be some flexibility. So I allow room for that as well. Yeah, it builds me more confidence in myself because I know I'm going to be less overwhelmed because I know what I'm doing each day. Okay. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. You're improving other people's lives for being the best you. And remember, you are in control of your own self-esteem and confidence.